Alright, let's dive into something that's been making headlines lately. Social Security benefits are projected to jump by 3.8% in 2027. Now, before you start calculating how much extra cash you might get, let's pause for a second. What makes this really interesting is that this isn't just a random number pulled out of thin air. It's tied to something called the cost of living adjustment, or COLA. Personally, I think COLA is one of those underappreciated mechanisms that quietly shapes the financial lives of millions of Americans, especially seniors. It's designed to help benefits keep pace with inflation, but here's the kicker: does it really work as intended? From my perspective, the way COLA is calculated is both fascinating and flawed. It's based on the Consumer Price Index for the third quarter of the previous year. Sounds straightforward, right? But here's the catch: inflation doesn't wait for the third quarter to hit. By the time COLA kicks in, prices have already risen, and seniors are left playing catch-up. Russell Glure, a Social Security advisor, puts it bluntly: the cost of living happens before the adjustment is provided. That's a detail I find fascinating and frustrating. It's like trying to fix a leak after the room is already flooded. Now, let's talk about the projections for 2027. Advocacy groups like the Senior Citizens League are forecasting a 3.8% increase, while AARP is slightly more conservative at 3.6%. But here's where it gets tricky: these numbers aren't set in stone. Alex Moore, a statistician at TSCL, points out that economic uncertainty, especially with volatile oil prices, could throw these projections off. If you take a step back and think about it, this highlights just how fragile these estimates are. We are essentially betting on the future of the economy to determine how much support seniors will get. What many people don't realize is that even a 3.8% increase might not be enough. Healthcare costs, for example, are skyrocketing. Medicare Part B premiums jumped by 9.7% in 2026, the second largest increase in the program's history. Moore notes that 57% of seniors have skipped health care procedures due to cost. That's staggering. It's not just about keeping up with inflation, it's about surviving in a system where essential services are becoming luxuries. This raises a deeper question: is the current COLA formula fair? The Social Security 2100 Act, reintroduced in Congress, proposes using a CPI for the elderly CPIE instead of the standard CPI. Why? Because seniors spend disproportionately more on housing and health care, two areas hit hardest by inflation. Personally, I think this is a step in the right direction. It's about time we acknowledge that one-size-fits-all inflation metrics don't work for everyone. But here's the thing: this bill has been reintroduced multiple times since 2014 and hasn't passed. What this really suggests is that there's a disconnect between policy and reality. We are talking about millions of seniors who are struggling to make ends meet, yet the system remains stubbornly unchanged. If you ask me, the projected 3.8% increase is a band-aid on a bullet wound. It's a temporary fix to a much larger problem. We need systemic changes, not just tweaks to the formula. So, while you're calculating how much your benefit might change, remember this: the real conversation isn't about the numbers, it's about the people behind them. Closing thought: what if, instead of reacting to inflation, we proactively designed a system that ensures seniors can live with dignity? That's the question we should all be asking. Let me know what you think in the comments below. How do you think we can better support seniors in an increasingly expensive world?